Hi everyone, you are here with Corina and my channel is Cori Cooks. And the reason why I'm starting to do this is because I love sharing my recipes and my food because it just seems to bring joy to the table when you gather friends and family with food. So for today, my first recipe that I'll be teaching you is how to make flan. Now flan for me is one of my favorite treats, and it's just because it's just so sweet and so creamy and delicious with all that caramel. It's a very simple recipe, very easy to do. The only thing about it is that you have to be very patient as far as letting it cook and having it cool, and then just wait for it until it's ready. And so if you're planning to make this for a party, you need to make sure that you do it the day before. So for what you need, you will need 6 eggs. I like to use large eggs. It makes it easier. You're gonna need regular sugar. You're gonna need a can of condensed milk. I prefer Nestlé's Lechera because that's the one my mom always used. You'll also need 2 cans of evaporated milk, and I prefer Carnation Nestlé because again my mom always used it. And this is optional. You will be needing the cream cheese if you want your flan to come out creamy like this one here. I just prefer the way the texture comes out, and just the way that it melts in your mouth is delicious. Another thing that we'll be needing will be vanilla if you wanted to add that vanilla flavor, and I forgot to get it, but it's right here. And I just got this at Costco. Now once you mix everything together, you will be needing half a cup of sugar to add into the flan mix, and a cup of sugar to make your caramel. Right here. One last thing that you'll be needing also is your cooking dish. Your cooking dish, you actually need 2. You need one for the flan and the second one to sit in the first one. And you're gonna have to put in some water. Now when you put in the water, you need to make sure that you leave space there like this, so that your water doesn't boil up and fall into your flan, or when you take it out of the oven, so you don't spill water in there and just ruin your flan. And 6. Then I usually like to add the milk, the evaporated milk. I add 1. Now it's gonna look like a lot. You're gonna think it's not gonna fit in the pan, but it will. Then I like to add the condensed milk, and usually I take a spoon, kind of help it out. And of course you're not gonna be able to get all of it, but you're gonna want to get most of it in there. To get the rest of it, I take other can, pour about half in there, and you just stir it up so, and it helps get some of it out. You're gonna add the rest of the milk. And as far as the cream cheese, like I said, it's optional. You don't have to add it, but if you do add it, you're gonna add about half of that, the block. Then you add your half cup of sugar, that. And another thing, it's very rare that I use measuring cups, so for vanilla, all I can say is just kind of drop some in there, like that. And I do that because growing up my mom never used measuring cups or spoons. So then I just leave this to rest like that, and then I move over to the stove. And you want to make sure that you put your heat medium heat, and then you pour over your sugar. And this process takes a little bit longer, so you're just gonna have to wait until it starts heating up. You wanna make sure you move it around, and you're gonna start seeing that it starts clumping. Okay, so as you can see, the caramel is starting to form and the sugar's melting and we're getting that caramel. So this is the part when you just start turning and turning. And if your hand gets a little bit tired and you want to stop, make sure that you lift it from the heat and you kind of just take a rest. Okay, so our caramel is ready. So as soon as it's ready, you want to go ahead and take it off of the heat. Stir it up a little more and just make sure you get all those little clumps out. There's some in there, but that's okay. So we'll go ahead and take it to our baking dish. And this is the part where you need to be super careful because if you burn yourself, it will hurt. So you just start pouring it like this. You make sure that you try to get it evened out over the dish. And if you don't get it perfectly evened out, that's okay because once in the fridge, it'll actually start to get kind of runny and it'll end up covering up most of the flan. So you just kind of do this here. Spread it out as much as you can. Okay, so now that that's ready, we're gonna go ahead and blend our flan mix. And you wanna make sure that it's at the highest setting. You wanna liquefy. How it all fits. So you want to make sure that your baking dish is in there. And you want to make sure that you cover it up with some foil. Go ahead and loosely cover it. From here, you want to remove it from the other dish. So you're going to lift and set. And you'll open it up. And that's pretty much what your flan should look like. Really even, really well done. So now after that, you're gonna let it sit there for an hour. And this is the part where I said you just have to be patient with the flan. Just you have to let it cool down for an hour and then put it in the fridge overnight, or at least 2.5 hours to 3 hours for it to be really nice. And that's my recipe for flan. So if you have any questions, just go ahead and email me at goricooks@gmail.com. If you'd like to share any of your recipes so that I can share them with everybody else, go ahead and email me also or leave a comment. One last thing, I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and being patient with me on my first video. Hope to see you soon. And the last thank you to my cameraman, my husband. Thank you very much.